Welcome to another edition of Coffee Break Sports. I am your sports barista, Rod the Magnificent. Come in the break room. Come on. Water coolers right here. We need to talk about some NBA basketball. But before we get into that, hit the subscribe, hit the follow button, hit the bell for notifications so you can get notified every time I drop a new video, whether it is Coffee Break Sports, Coffee and Beats, whatever the case may be. I have a new announcement coming up soon of some adjustments that I'm going to be making to my channel that's just going to combine all of my likes and taste in regards to music and sports. We're going to downsize a little bit with Coffee and Beats and Coffee Break Sports, so stay tuned for that announcement. But enough about me, it's about these playoffs, and boy, do we have a showdown for you. We have the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals in full effect. On one side of the ring in the Eastern Conference, we got the New York, or should I say the Woo York Knicks, bringing their Timberlands, and they bring in all of the Raekwon the Chef albums and the Mobb Deeps and the Ghostface Killer, all of that. You know, Mobb Deep's not a part of Wu-Tang, but you know what they mean. You know what I mean. It's New York. Excuse my poor New York accent, but they bringing all that to the cornfields of Indiana. They're going up against my Pacers. You know, the Indiana Pacers going up against, the New York Knicks, the Woo York Knicks. Then on the other side, we got the Western Conference Finals. Now, I have been hearing talks of people saying this is like Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. Now, listen, I'm not going to go against that notion. I don't agree with it, but hey, I'm not mad at that comparison. But we got Anthony Edwards going up against SGA, the Oklahoma City Thunder going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Very, very interesting matchups because these conference finals feature young, up-and-coming, rising stars, and I think they've already risen at this point. They're not rising. They have risen. The NBA has been in this bubble of holding on to nostalgia, like they like to accuse old heads of doing with Michael Jordan. They are still trying to find ways, whether it's through trades, the draft, to elevate teams like the Lakers that feature LeBron James, teams like the Golden State Warriors, which feature Steph Curry and KD, and with the Supers teams and things of that nature. They're still trying to satisfy stars that are kind of on their way out and have done the bare minimum at promoting teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, like the New York Knicks. Now, they've had promoted the New York Knicks, but New York kind of underperformed during the regular season. But the Pacers, not enough attention. Even the Minnesota Timberwolves, as much as Anthony Edwards is must-see TV, he's funny, he's got a great personality for TV, or the NBA, I don't blame ESPN, but the NBA has done little to promote their young stars in comparison to their older and dying out stars. And so I am so happy that we have these four players featuring in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. Now, with that all being said, let's get to the Western Conference Finals matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC coming off a grueling seven-game series against the Nuggets. The Nuggets came up flat thanks to the wonderful defense that Caruso was putting on Jokic. I mean, it was defense 101 by Caruso. And listen, as a Bulls fan, me personally, I miss Caruso in a Bulls uniform, but I'm gonna tell you, AC was in his bag in game 7 and he did his thing. SGA does his thing as usual, put up a huge game 7 over Jokic, and I think he officially won the NBA MVP conversation with that game. Even though it's a regular season trophy, I think that kind of put the icing on the cake for SGA. I think SGA, as of this recording, should win the MVP for the NBA this season. Jokic had an outstanding season, averaged a triple-double, but I think it's time for SGA to get it. It's time to promote our younger, up-and-coming stars, or are already risen stars. But getting back to this matchup, we got the Timberwolves going up against the Thunder. Anthony Edwards has been averaging 26.5 points per game. He's shooting 38% the field and 44% from field goal range, also averaging 8 rebounds, which is impressive for a guard, and 5.9 assists per game, and averaging also 1.5 steal a game. So he is playing some defense. But Julius Randle, and I said this in the first round, Julius Randle has to be the X factor for Minnesota to win any games in any series. He is a matchup problem for most teams. Now, when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder, he's going to have his hands full. They got a lot of bigs that they can throw at him to kind of give him some problems, alter his shot a little bit. I kind of see them putting Hartenstein on him, who did an excellent job on Jokic in the previous series. I just think I think Julius Randle is going to be the X factor if Minnesota is going to win this game. Shout out to Jalen McDaniels, 15.4 points a game. He's been the biggest surprise for the Minnesota Timberwolves. You know, last year it was Naz Reid, but this year McDaniels has taken over 5. Even though Naz Reid has still been effective, he's hot and cold. Sometimes he'll come in and hit like 3 straight 3-pointers, but then he'll have other times where he's non-existent in the game. And then Rudy Gobert, who can jump out and have a good game at any moment. He showed that in the Lakers series. He showed that in the Golden State series. And then again, Dante DiVincenzo, who has been a great 6-man coming off the bench for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And technically Naz Reid is the 6-man, but it's been a nice addition off the bench. Mike Conley is going to be Mike Conley. Alexander Walker is coming in with the energy and the defense. And so this team is very well balanced. But are they balanced enough to be the Thunder team where they have SGA averaging 29 points per game? Jalen Williams is right behind him at 19.6 points per game. Chet Holmgren, who's been hot and cold throughout the playoffs, he's averaging 15.7 a game. Hartenstein's been amazing. 10 points, 3 points per game. He's averaging 8.7 rebounds a game. And then Lu Dort gives you that tough defense in the backcourt. Along with Wiggins coming off the bench, he's averaging 7.6 points a game. So this team is pretty stacked, all right? All across the board, this team has broke records during the regular season, most blowouts of any team in NBA history. They kind of struggled to beat the Denver Nuggets, but I knew the Denver Nuggets wasn't going to be a walk in the park for the Thunder. I knew that they were going to struggle with them because Jokic is not a type of player that's going to go down easy. Murray, a lot of those guys, they're going to play with pride. They gave the Thunder a fight. On the other side, the Timberwolves got a little fortunate, you know, with Steph Curry being out for pretty much the whole series. I only played 1 quarter of the whole series. And so the series was dominated by the Timberwolves. And even Anthony Edwards mentioned that he just didn't feel fulfilled winning that series because Steph Curry didn't really play. And then Jimmy Butler just wasn't the same. He just wasn't Jimmy Butler of old. And so you kind of see he's declining a little bit. So Golden State has a lot of question marks, but this matchup, the Timberwolves and the Thunder, it's going to be interesting because I think the Thunder are going to the finals. I thought that from the minute the playoffs started. I know my playoff record in these predictions has been terrible, especially the second round. But one thing that's remained consistent, I've been having the Thunder in all of these series, and I'm just going to give you guys a little secret that I've been holding on to. I got the Thunder winning it all, okay? So I'm just going to pick the Thunder regardless of who they play. The Timberwolves, I just think they're a better all-around team. I think they just know how to grind those wins out. Jalen Williams is going to have to be big in the series. He cannot be inconsistent like he was in the Thunder series. He has to be consistent all across the board. He cannot have a 24-point game and then a 6-point game the next game. He has to step up. Chet Holmgren has to be better. He has to outplay Rudy Gobert, and I think he can do that. And then you also have Caruso, who, you know, defensively, I think the Thunder can throw so many people at Anthony Edwards to make his job difficult. They can put Caruso on him for a little bit. They can put Lu Dort on him for a little bit. They can put Wiggins on him for a little bit. Like, it's a lot of players that they can throw at him. They could put Jalen Williams on him if they need to. And so this team is stacked. SGA is no slouch on defense either. It's not a weakness of his. And so I think the Thunder wins this series. I like the Timberwolves, in order for the Timberwolves to win this series, I said this like I've said in previous matchups that they've had, it's all about Julius Randle. If Julius Randle plays like he did in the Golden State series, I think that the Timberwolves has a chance to win it in 6. But I don't think that's going to happen. I got the Thunder in 6 games. I got the Thunder in 6. I just don't think that the Timberwolves have enough firepower to stop the Thunder. And, the Thunder do well with the blowout wins. What I do need to see from the Thunder, better execution when the game is close. Because sometimes when it comes to those close games, the Thunder, they kind of wet the bed a little bit, So I do think that if the Timberwolves keep this series close, I think the problem that I have with the Timberwolves is they get into these shooting droughts, and you can't do that against a team like the Thunder. You get into shooting droughts with the Thunder, they're going to run you off the court. And so I'm looking forward to this matchup. I got the Timberwolves losing in 6. Up next, we got the Pacers going up against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Knicks have been the talk of the town, ladies and gentlemen, especially their fans. They have been rowdy ever since eliminating the Boston Celtics, and I know people were like, oh, why they're celebrating like they won the championship? Well, they beat the defending champions. You beat the defending champions, and this particular team has been your rival for so many years. It's going to feel good. If the Bears beat the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, NFC Championship game, we're going to celebrate harder for that than a Super Bowl win. Okay, so I get it, Knicks fans. I'm with you on this one. I'm here to defend that. I don't have any issues with them flooding the streets of Times Square. One guy most notably being on top of Jumbotron or whatever they call it. But hey, big shout out to Knicks fans. They came through. They came through for their city. They supported their team. And the Indiana Pacers do the same thing. They support their Indiana Pacers. They've been supporting it for as long as I've been watching sports, especially during the Reggie Miller days. And speaking of Reggie Miller, you got Tyrese Halliburton, who is an amazing player. And I must say, Tyrese Halliburton almost got that Reggie Miller type feel to him. He's been hitting this whole narrative of, overrated that every time he wins a series. And so I'm sure Knicks fans are going to find a way to rub that back in his face and talk trash to Halliburton. I just can't wait for this series. It's going to be trash talk. It's going to be some nasty basketball that you're going to see, physical basketball. I mean, that's what you expect from an Indiana Pacers Knicks series. Throwback basketball. What I'm looking forward to, Pascal Siakam leads the team in scoring. He's averaging 18.8 points a game. And let's be honest, Tyrese Halliburton has been great in clutch moments, especially against Cleveland, but he hasn't been consistent low-key. But I'm going to tell you who has been consistent. Miles Turner, he's been consistent. Naismith, he's been consistent. Nembhard, he's been consistent. Mathurin, who has been huge, he's been consistent. Obi Toppin every once in a while comes up with a big game. And of course, McConnell, who's their workhorse, he sacrifices his body out there. He hits big open shots. I mean, this team is finals capable, especially with the Celtics out the picture, especially with the Cavs out the picture. And now they have the Knicks, which you got Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year, 28 points a game. I mean, how could you not like Jalen Brunson? What an excellent story. Just to watch what he's doing with the Knicks and resurrecting this team. If he takes this team to the finals with the help of all of these pieces, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Knicks to ever play. You got Karl-Anthony Towns averaging 19.8 points a game. He had a big first round. Second round, he was a little up and down, but Karl-Anthony Towns can erupt at any moment. Pause. So here's the thing. OG Anunoby, who he's kind of their Jalen Williams, he can get you 24 one night, can get you 6 another night. Miles Bridges, who was big in some pockets. I mean, he was huge in that Boston series. I mean, for him to get 2 game-winning steals in a row in the previous series against Boston and go on that 14-point barrage that he did, I mean, Miles Bridges has been excellent. Josh Hart is Josh Hart. And then you also got Robinson, who's been huge coming off the bench at center. No, well, he's not coming off the bench. I'll take that back. He's starting. But McBride has been a great backup point guard for Brunson. And, the Knicks have it together. Tom Thibodeau's got this team playing well. And let's just set the record straight a little bit. You gotta give some credit to Tom Thibodeau. All right, gets a knock for overplaying his players and players getting hurt. Nothing has happened, and I don't believe in hexes and all that. But Tom Thibodeau, you got to give a man some credit. He's coaching, man. He's coaching. You can get on about the whole Derrick Rose thing. I know people have never forgiven him since the Derrick Rose ACL injury, but the man is coaching. All right, and you got to give him credit. The Knicks have home court advantage in this series. I think the Pacers have yet to face a real challenge, a team with dog in them. The Cavs didn't have no heart. Milwaukee showed a little heart towards the end, but Milwaukee was hampered with injuries, right? So you have the Knicks, who play with a lot of heart, a lot of dog in them, and they're gonna be ready for the Pacers, okay? I think this series is going a full 7. I got the Knicks in 7 on this one. This is one of those series where I think the home fans are going to play a huge role in wins and losses in this series. I wouldn't be surprised if there were no road wins in this series. But I said that the last game. I said that in the second round, and it totally smacked me in the face. But hey, we'll see what happens. I got the Knicks in 7. Those are my picks, and I'm sticking to them. And that will do it for this edition of Coffee Break Sports. I am your sports barista, Rod the Magnificent. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to sports, when it comes to NBA playoffs, stay grounded for life. Enjoy the playoffs. Enjoy the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. I will be back with my final NBA episode on the NBA Finals. I said finals twice. And again, Rod the Magnificent signing off. Enjoy the playoffs. I'm out. Peace.